What is up, guys? It is your favorite otaku Lotus here today, and welcome back to the Nerd Corner. And in today's video, we'll be giving you my review for episode 11. Yeah, 11 of Orange, letter 11. I was a little off there for a moment because I didn't review last week's episode. Episode 10, I did watch it, I did enjoy it. Thought it was leaps and bounds ahead of episode 9, which was atrocious in my opinion. I low-key went on a mini rant in that video, but I didn't review episode 10. I won't really get into a long-winded explanation as to why in this video, but I will leave it down in the description for anyone who cares enough to want to read that. But episode 11, we're reviewing it. We're gonna get right into this. This episode, start to finish, I thought was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. It really took me by surprise because, as I said just a moment ago, last week's episode was a huge step up from episode 9, and I felt like this episode was a step up from episode 10. I mean, just the relationship between Naho and Kakeru progressed so much in this episode. Like, they legitimately actually looked like a cute couple in this episode, because you guys know, it seems like every single instance after like the first episode that they've had to be romantic or flirtatious or cute, one of them screws it up somehow, or they get interrupted by somebody, and it's happened without fail every single time. But in this episode, it starts off in like this really cute way. Everyone's looking over at photos from the athletic meet, and when it comes to Naho and Kakeru to like pick one, because everyone's picking one that they want to keep and hold on to, Naho picks one that's just of Kakeru, and Kakeru picks one that's just of Naho, and they kind of tease each other, and they're like, no, you can't have this one, no, you can't have the blah 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 blah. And I'm like, yo, I had a big smile on my face. I really liked that scene. I thought that was really cute, and I was really surprised that nobody managed to screw that up somehow, because you guys you already know how I feel about it. Especially if you follow me on Twitter, you know how I feel about Naho and her character, because it just seems like she screws it up every time somehow. Anytime things are going great, she manages to fuck things up. That's just, she just always does things poorly. She makes bad choices. But this instance, it was great. Opening song plays, we get a flash forward to the future where everyone's in the car having this conversation about how they all regret, choices and the decisions they made. They all wish Kakeru was still there. Everybody feels responsible, but nobody feels guiltier and more responsible than Suwa, because he's the only one that knew how Naho and Kakeru both felt. He knew that they had feelings for each other, yet he never said or did anything to help them or to prevent Kakeru's death or anything like that. Granted, he didn't know it would ultimately result in Kakeru's suicide, but he feels the most responsible and the most guilty. He feels like he shouldn't even be with Naho. He thinks that if Kakeru was still alive, Naho would be married to him instead of Suwa. And it's just, all these emotions are being poured out, and I'm just like, damn, this is like a really heavy conversation. And then what really surprised me is just some of the things that Suwa was saying in front of Naho, because like, they're married, and like, this is your wife now, this is your life now, #bars. But yeah, just like some of the things that he was saying, I just felt like shouldn't have been said in front of Naho, but she didn't seem to like mind it. She kind of took it all with a grain of salt. It was like, Suwa, don't blame yourself too much. Even if Kakeru was still here, I would have married you, because ever since you told me how you felt in high school, I've returned your feelings since then, and I love you, I'm with you, I chose you, like I want to be with you. And so yeah, I guess in Naho's mind, like it's all good. Like, of course she misses Kakeru just like anybody else, but she's like, I chose you, Suwa, I want to be with you. Well, she didn't really choose him, like he was the only option left, but but yeah. So anyway, we go back to like the present day timeline, and everyone's making plans for Christmas Eve and New Year's, and it's really dope. There's another cute moment between Naho and Kakeru here, and I was like, yo, they're looking like a real couple. I was legitimately impressed, fam. Like, they looked cute. They were having romantic moments. They were being all flirtatious and googly-eyed with each other without screwing it up, and I just was like speechless. I just was laughing and smiling and enjoying the episode. Like, there's this moment where Naho has like this box of Pocky, and then Kakeru sticks his hand in there, grabs one for himself, and he's munching on that, all cool and casual like, and he just casually talking with Naho, being a little bit flirtatious and making plans and stuff like, yo, you want to go do this on Christmas Eve? Like, yo, you want to go get this? It'll be my treat. And I'm like, yo, my man's Kakeru. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the Kakeru I like. Smooth, casual, Playboy Mac Hugh Hefner. This is the Kakeru I want to see in every single episode, not the crybaby who turns his tail and runs because Naho didn't realize you wanted to hold her hand. Dog, why can't you be like this all the time? And then not only that, even though Naho's, she's kind of shy, awkward, and embarrassed, she's not to the point where like she's being stupid as a brick and oblivious to what Kakeru's trying to do. And she's like, yeah, okay, she's agreeing to this and that, and like, yeah, I'll do this and that, let's do this, let's do that. And I'm like, yo, this is fantastic. And so while everyone's making plans for New Year's Eve, they're like, okay, Naho and Kakeru are going to do this together on Christmas Eve, but we should all go to the shrines or whatever on New Year's Eve to bring in the new year. And Sue was like, I can't, I got plans, I got something I got to do. And I believe Azu was the one who called her. I was like, bullshit, you lying boy, you gonna be there. And Suwa was like, nah, for real, I can't. I got things to do. And then that's when Kakeru and Naho were like, okay, well, whatever. Hey, and Kakeru invites Naho to go get some sort of treat or whatever. I forget what it was, some sort of snack or drink or something. He's like, let's go get so-and-so. It'll be my treat. And Naho's like, okay. And then Kakeru takes Naho by the hand and they run off into the distance. I'm like, yo, I can't believe this is happening. This has to be a dream. This can't be real. Orange is not this good right now. Kakeru and Naho are not this good of a couple right now. Holy cow, yo. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, but it was happening. And then as Hagita, Azu, Taka, and Suwa are watching Kakeru and Naho run away, I think it was Azu or Taka, one of the girls, they straight mollywop Suwa in the back of the head with their bag, and they're like, boy, you lying. Why is you lying? You ain't got shit planned for the New Year's Eve. My letter said that you was gonna be there on New Year's Eve and that you confessed your feelings for Naho. And then we get the revelation as to that's why Suwa doesn't want to be there on New Year's Eve, because he doesn't want to confess his feelings for Naho, because he feels that it'll ultimately result in Naho becoming conflicted and perhaps either returning feelings for Suwa or doing something that will end up hurting Kakeru, which will result in his suicide. And that's everyone's main goal, is to prevent that. Like, everyone wants Kakeru to live, and Suwa thinks that if he confesses his feeling for Naho, Kakeru might still end up dead. So he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to go. And as the episode progresses, we see that that's what happens, while everyone out. Well, first off, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. So Christmas Eve rolls around, right? And Kakeru and Naho made plans, but Kakeru's grandmother gets really sick, so he can't make it. Naho gets a little upset, but she's like, okay, well, I understand. At least I'll still get to see him on New Year's Eve. So New Year's Eve rolls around, everybody meets up except Suwa. He's back at the crib chilling. He was adamant about what he said. He didn't want to show up. He doesn't want to ruin the moments with Kakeru and Naho. He doesn't want to end up, confusing Naho and making Kakeru kill himself, which, cool, understandable. So apparently on this night, on New Year's Eve, is the night where Kakeru and Naho get into a big fight, to the point where Naho is in tears, crying, standing alone, while Kakeru goes home. And then Suwa was the one who came in, comforted Naho, consoled her, and then that's how he ended up confessing his feelings for her. And we're getting like these scenes like in between, these like flash forwards, flashbacks. I'm not really sure what you would call these, but it's like it shows us how the timeline originally played out, like what originally happened. And oh my goodness, things were going so well throughout this entire episode, right? So while everyone is all cold and in the wind, I believe Azu told Hagita to go buy them all a hot drink, and Hagita's like, nah. And then they play rock, paper, scissors to see who's gonna go get it. And then it ends up being Naho and Kakeru, going together alone to go get the drinks. Things are going smoothly, and Kakeru apologizes for not being able to make it to their Christmas Eve plans because his grandmother got sick. Naho's like, it's okay, don't even sweat it, don't worry about it. Things are going good, right? She has one job. All she has to do is make sure she doesn't say anything stupid that pisses Kakeru off so that they get into a fight. All she has to do is be careful about what she says and don't say anything that might anger Kakeru, right? So he apologizes for not showing up. She says it's all good. And then they start talking about his grandmother, and he's like, she's sick, and I'm not sure she's doing so well. And Naho's like, because she knows that in 10 years in the future, his grandmother's still alive. So as far as she's concerned, everything's gonna be all right. But she can't really say that. She can't really act like that because she can't let on that she knows that, right? So she's like, don't worry, she'll be fine, I'm sure. And Kakeru's like, well, how do you know that? And she's like, she's kind of stunned and speechless. And he's like, I thought my mom would be fine too, but yeah, look how that turned out. And Naho's like, oh shit, I fucked up. What do I do? And then Kakeru kind of laughs it off, and he's like, my bad, I'm being all gloomy, whatever. And I'm like, my heart dropped, like my stomach dropped. I was like, whew. I thought she screwed up right there for a second. Like I thought things were about to take a turn for the worse. But then it seemed that everything worked out all cool. So they talked back and forth for a moment. And then after, talking about it a little bit more, Kakeru's like, what? I think I want to go home early today. I hope you don't mind. I just want to be with my grandmother. And I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. He's got a smile on his face. Everything went well. They didn't get into a fight. Now all Naho has to do is like, all right, I understand. You should definitely go home, be with your grandmother. I think that she's going to be just fine, but I understand. But no. What did she do? What did Naho do? God damn it, Naho. She fucked up, bruh. She was selfish. She was fucking selfish, and she begs Kakeru to stay with her. She's like, no, can you please just stay a little bit longer? I'm like, dog, all you had to do was let him go home and see his grandma. I know he's gonna be alright, but he doesn't know and he doesn't know how you know. Oh my god, she screwed it all up, and that sets him off, because he's like, well, how do you know she's gonna be alright? You know, like I said, I thought my mom was gonna be alright, and I didn't realize how serious the situation was, and she ended up dead. So nothing's gonna be okay just because someone says it's gonna be okay. And then, long story short, he goes on this straight up rant, right? To the point where it brings Naho to tears, and he storms off, and he's like, no, don't touch me, stay away from me, I don't want to see you, don't talk to me. And I'm like, yo, he got straight up savage. And he storms off into the night, and he goes home. Naho's sitting there crying in tears, and I'm like, yo, Kakeru really went the fuck off. Like, I think it was a little much, but I kind of understand. And although I was a little upset with Kakeru for how he reacted to the situation, I was more upset with Naho, because all she had to do was let the man go home while he still had a smile on his face. But no, she wanted to be selfish, and it ended up in the big fight, a fight that's probably even bigger than the one they originally had. And she's sitting there crying, and I'm like, yeah, you're sitting there boo-hooing, and I completely understand why. But it's your own fault. So yeah, and then best boy Suwa comes in clutch. You know, he gets a phone call from Azu, because they still think that he's at the crib chilling, because he said he wasn't going to show up, and he never did show up. And so after, you know, thinking it over, and he's been staring at these pictures from the future of you know, his future family with Naho, and he's like, you know what, fuck it, man, I can't let her be standing out there in the cold with these tears streaming down her face. He shows up to the rescue. He approaches Naho and is like, yo, you okay? She's crying, and he grabs her, you know, consoles her. But instead of doing what he originally did, because like it plays out so that at first this is going exactly how it did in those scenes where it shows us how it originally went. It's like almost word for word the exact same thing is happening. But when it gets to the point where he's supposed to confess his feelings, what he does instead is says, don't worry, Kakeru doesn't hate you, and even if he did, I would drag him back to you and make sure everything is okay, just like I did before, and I'll make sure that you two never drift apart. And I'm just like, yes, Suwa is that nigga. Suwa is the motherfucking nigga. Suwa is best boy. Suwa is I wish I had a homie like Suwa, because Suwa is straight up the realest. He's D4L. He is the bestest boy that there ever was. I mean, my man is the most supportive character that I've ever seen, dog. And I feel so bad for him, because I know his situation. Like, he really has these feelings for Naho. He really wants to be with her, and he's helping her be with some other guy. And I've been there, because I am light-skinned, and I've done that Drake-ass shit before, where I was feeling a girl, and I helped her either get back with her ex or work out some problems with some other nigga. Yeah, been there, done that. So I feel Suwa on a spiritual level, and I'm face palming right now. And I did the exact. That's what Suwa did. Right after Naho runs off into the distance to chase after Kakeru, he face palms, and I'm like, dog, I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, but then it doesn't quite end there, because it gets even a little more savage. And this is where I felt like Kakeru, like, that was unnecessary, dog. So Naho is calling his phone, and he's still pissed off, right? This nigga smashes his phone. He throws it to the ground and straight up smashes the screen. And I'm like, well, that was a little uncalled for. You could have just hit ignore or turned your phone off. But, you know, that's cool. I get it. You know, people tend to break things when they're mad. So, you know, whatever. But you're going to regret that in the morning. But, yeah, that's kind of how the episode ends off. And then Naho's like extremely worried. She's like, oh no, what have I done? Am I going to be the reason Kakeru dies? Yeah, that was one hell of an episode, and it was a really emotional roller coaster there at the end. But I absolutely loved it. Like, I was frustrated with Naho because of what she did, but it was a great episode. So yeah, that's really it. Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hit this video with a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already, so you guys can stay tuned for all the awesome content I plan on bringing you. And with all that being said, that's pretty much all I have for today. So I will catch you guys next time. Later.